Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is James. Today I'm back in sunny Cambrils. As you can tell, I'm not in my normal kitchen, and today we're going to be making some fish. Or actually, I'm going to be making a roasted red pepper sauce or puree. I'm going to be cooking some cod. We're going to make some mashed potatoes, and if you want to check out how I make my mashed potatoes, I made a video not too long ago on how to make them, which I'll leave the link to if you want to check that out. And then of course at the end we're going to be making a sauce to go on the fish. So puree, fish, mashed potatoes, and a sauce. So it's very easy to make at home and very simple, and like always you can add or omit something if you want. So before we get started today, be sure to like the video down below, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done already, and be sure to check out the rest of my recipes and travel videos that I have on my channel. So let's get started. So to start off the recipe, we're going to roast the peppers first. I'm going to roast them actually on the fire, not in the oven. You can do either one, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to show you more the southwestern technique, which I grew up with. You can use the grill of the oven, or the oven grill to put on it. It's better if you don't have enough space for this to hold it. It holds it together better. You want to get the sides completely black. We want to burn it. So more or less when you get it to this stage of when you see everything is burnt, this is the stage that it's done. You want to try to, the more you burn it basically, the easier it is to peel in the end. Now after they're more or less this color, you can burn them a little more. We're just going to put some clear film on, and we're going to make them sweat. With the time that they're on the fire, they're already cooking. So with the condensation, this is going to help to take off the rest of the skin. So now, while the peppers are sweating, I'm going to dice or julienne some onions, and then I'm going to saute some onions. Now normally this recipe you add a bit of garlic, but since I'm not cooking just for myself today, and because of allergy reasons, I'm omitting the garlic, but normally it's with garlic. And if you want, you can also add a bit of tomato to this to give the sauce a little more volume, but today we're not going to do that. So now, after a few minutes, the peppers should be easier to peel. I used to do this a lot when I lived in Arizona. You don't know how many peppers I used to roast. And like I said, this is very messy, so the best thing to do is to put it in the sink, put some gloves on in case if they're still a little hot, and it's easier to clean. And then you can wash them off if you want, but if you leave some of the burnt pieces on, it's not that healthy for you, but it does add to the flavor of the sauce. Okay, so I'm going to open this up, and you have to be careful because we don't want the seeds, we just want the skin. A few seeds are okay because you're going to blend it, so it doesn't really matter, but you don't want all of them. And to make it a little easier for the hand blender, you can cut this up into smaller pieces and then put it in the container with the onions, and we're going to blend everything together. Okay, now for the sauce. We're going to add a little bit of oil to it, a little bit of chicken stock or water if you don't want to add that, or vegetable stock, and then a bit of salt, and of course if you want to make this spicy you can also add a bit of hot peppers or a bit of, chili peppers. I'm going to be leaving the skin on the cod, and I'm just going to cut a few incisions in the back just to help it cook a little faster, and it will stay flat for the most part. You want to cut about a third of the way down when you're pinching it. Now you're going to be laying the skin side down first, and as it's cooking it's going to contract, so what you want to do is either use your hand or use a spatula and just hold it down for a few seconds while the skin is starting to contract. Otherwise it's going to bow and you're going to have a dip in the middle of the fillet. So whenever you're cooking whitefish, it can be a little challenging, and what you want to do when you're using any fish with skin on it is to get the pan very hot to make the skin crispy. Once it's done, because the skin is protecting the meat so it can cook longer on this side, you're going to flip it just before the meat falls off or breaks apart, as you see in the video. It's not fully done yet. You're going to flip it, sear it for just a few seconds, and then take that off, and the residual heat is going to continue cooking the fish. White meat is very delicate, or white fish, so it's very easy to overcook it. Now we're going to start our hazelnut butter sauce, or our brown butter sauce. So we're going to take a lime or a lemon, whatever you have, we're going to cut it in segment. You're going to take a portion or a quarter of a stick of butter and you're going to put it in the saute pan. Now, at the point that you notice that you start to see very small bubbles and it starts to turn a brownish color, you want to turn the fire off and then add this lime segments and capers. Now, the reason for turning the fire off is because when we add the lime segments and the capers to this, or the lemon segments, the acid is going to stop the cooking process. It'll stop the butter from overcooking, but it's going to overflow if you have too much butter in it, and if you have the flames on, it can cause a very, very big fire in the kitchen, which I've seen more than once. So it's a good idea to turn it off, add the capers and the segments in, leave it, let it rest, and it's a very easy sauce to make. And more or less, you want it like this. Very, very simple and easy. And that's it, guys. It's super easy to make. If you want to add or omit any ingredients, you can easily do that as well. And if you're wondering about the mashed potatoes, I made a video, like I said earlier, recently, and I'll leave the link to that if you want my recipe on how to make mashed potatoes. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out the rest of my videos that I have up on my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching again. Be sure to subscribe, like the video down below, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Take care.